Well, hey everyone, how are you? This is Vic, and this is a quick video I'm going to do on steady traffic secrets, okay? And I think that most people would agree that traffic, and especially steady traffic, is really the lifeblood to your business. And the more traffic that your online presence gets, the more that your subscriber list is going to grow when you are set up correctly. And, with the real business, with real products that the market actually needs, this can lead to conversions, also known as sales or signups of new members onto your team. But look, most folks feel that getting regular traffic is the hard part of their online business. And I just want to tell you that getting traffic, it's the easiest part, or it can be the easiest part when you watch this and you kind of do things right, okay? But look, the engagement of your subscribers that came from all of that traffic, now that's a skill that you're going to develop over time. And you also, if you follow me, I always talk about that's something that's going to come through trial and error. And I always translate trial and error into time and money. But you can shorten that trial and error, that learning curve, if you're working with a good mentor. Okay, so the engagement of your subscribers, that skill, you can shorten the time it takes you to develop that skill working with a good mentor who's gone before you. So don't just depend on the company video sales letters or the company standard emails to do the conversions for you, because you got to realize this, that your subscribers are people just like you. And most people don't just buy into a business. They buy into other people. They buy into teams or mentors. And that's what's important. And that's why the engagement is important. So let's talk about the traffic now and building a subscriber base. In another video, I'll talk about the engagement and the conversions. But I'm going to also touch on that right now. So we're going to talk about a steady traffic secrets and the different sources that you can go ahead and use. And one is social media, and probably all of you are on Facebook. And Facebook's got 1/3 of the internet as far as subscribers from last I looked. So it's a huge place of unlimited traffic, more than you'll ever need. The next thing is LinkedIn, and people call this the business version of Facebook, okay? The median source income, the demographics with LinkedIn is that the median source income is that much higher than it is on Facebook. Whether or not that's important to your business or not, I don't know, but it is another place for you to go ahead and get backlinks to your business and also have a steady audience, okay? Different audience that you might have on Facebook. Then there's Twitter and there's Instagram, okay? And you can learn to use those also. But what I always say is become a perfection at one before you move on to the other. Not even perfection, just become proficient at one before you move on to a different source. Now let's talk about your online presence. I think that a WordPress blog is best because WordPress blogs are very friendly to internet search engines. Okay, so when you have a WordPress blog set up correctly, especially when it's in a viral authority blog, more on that later, but you can go ahead and now you're what I call search engine friendly. So when someone puts a search into the search engine, whether it's Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever it happens to be, and they're gonna hit upon a blog that you wrote, it's more likely to hit a blog that you wrote than as if you just had a website, which is I call stagnant, like stale bread, a website. A WordPress blog, when done right, again, it's getting regular updates, and that's what the internet likes, okay? Second thing is YouTube. So you want to have a video presence, because a lot of times you're going to find that your subscribers are going to not stalk you, but they're going to troll you. They're going to want to see, okay, so what have you put out there? So your YouTube videos, look at me, they don't have to be anything earth-shattering. But if you have a presence out there and you've got something to share with the world, then go ahead and do it, okay? Remember this, you're only going to attract to you people that are like you. So they're not going to judge you on anything. Yeah, you're going to get your haters out there. They're always there. Just forget them. But realize this, is that whatever topic that you're going to create, whether it's within your blog or your YouTube or your Google+, what's going to happen is that you're going to attract to you that which relate to you the most. So, and that's the whole key behind it. Forget the haters, work with the ones that you attract, okay? So let's move on. Then you got Google+, which I already mentioned, and a website, like I mentioned, I feel it's like stale bread, because websites, yes, back in the 90s, I think that was the way to go. But now, they don't get updated often, they're just stagnant pages that are left out there. And I think you're much better off with a WordPress blog. So now let's talk about paid traffic. Now, let me warn you about paid traffic. First of all, you got to have a high converting offer, okay? And that high converting offer, yes, the residuals are important because you'll start to get a big ROI, return on your investment. But in addition to that, you should have some higher end sales. So maybe you've got like a tripwire sale that starts at a $47 level or whatever it happens to be. And then as people see the value in that, then they start to go ahead and make the purchase at the higher levels, giving you a higher return on your investment. And I think that's important before you do paid traffic, because paid traffic is not the magic bullet, because it can cost you if done wrong. So let's talk about it. You've got YouTube pay-per-click, okay? So YouTube pay-per-click, again, that's got to be done right and could cost you a fortune. And it's also, you've got to follow their regulations and guidelines to the T. Facebook ads is probably even tougher than YouTube pay-per-click, because you've got some guidelines and you can't just do a Facebook ad and send them to your company, opt-in page or your company video sales letter, because a lot of times, especially if you're in the work at home niche, networking type business, Facebook will frown upon that and they won't let that ad through, okay? And then finally, you got banner ads and solo ads, etc., that you can get from various sources, okay? So these are the traffic sources that you're going to have. If you've been watching any of my videos and you've seen any of my blogs, you know that I talk about you taking the traffic and you're going to move that traffic that's coming in from the free organic, which I showed you by having the blog and the YouTube and the Facebook, and you're going to go ahead and get it through a funnel, which is large at the top, a lot of traffic coming in at the top, hopefully getting a 25 to 50% opt-in rate, and I've gotten as high as 67 point something percent opt-in rates with my company created pages that I had right from what we call InstaBuilder, okay? And from our standard website, I've gotten as high as 60+% also. So that's a big deal, because the higher your opt-in rate now, the larger your subscriber base, the larger your audience. Because once you have those people as a subscriber, you're going to find out that maybe 10 to 20% are going to drop down and make a sale that same time that they saw your offer. And I got to tell you, anything from 2 to 5% conversion on the front end is respectable, okay? 10 to 20 is doing great. Now, the other part is that once they become your subscriber, now you get to email them on a regular basis. And after seeing your offer 7+ times or so, they get to what I call the KL and T factor: know, like, and trust you. And then as a result, you'll end up getting what I call a back-end sale, okay? So that's very important. So now how do we do all this, okay? So number one, you need a blog. Don't just go out and get yourself one of those free blogs and whatnot, because, you get what you pay for. If you have a business, which I'm assuming that you do if you're watching this video, you're going to need to have a real blog. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I have, this is 16,000 plus visitors over the last 2 weeks, just from the company pages that I created here. And my blog here is created. This is a viral authority blog, as I call it, and you get to set this up exactly as you want it. And then these are some of the blogs that I created. Okay, here's one that's in draft: creating excuses for your excuses. Okay, and these are some of the ones that I published, and they kind of look more like this. So this is a blog that I published. I have a call to action, and I talk about team together, everyone accomplishes more. And then I've got call to actions all over the place so that people can go ahead and click and like and comment and then opt in from various locations within that blog. Okay, now let's talk about the social. So this is the blog, and this is exactly what it looks like. Writing a blog is as simple as creating an email. So if I go ahead and I go here, and let's go ahead and say I want to add new. So what I'll do here, when you write an email, what do? You create a subject line. So on your blog, it's called a title. On your email, it's called a subject line. And then what do? You drop down into the body of the email and you type your message to whoever you're sending a message to. Well, on the blog, you come down here and you start typing exactly as it is. This is my blog. That's my title. Hey, welcome to my blog, okay? And at this point here, you can drop in here, and that could change the font family to, let's go, I like a Verdana, and I like a size of 14. And you can go ahead and bold it, and this, just like you do in a Word document. It's very simple. And then once you're done, you go ahead and you click publish, and you're published, and you got yourself your first blog when you go ahead and use this Collato. I'll put the link below as far as for you to go ahead and get this. Now, in addition to that, what we do is that we show people as far as how to create engagement within their business, because we talked about your social media. You can't just post funny cat videos and, you know, awesome quotes by Tony Robbins and Les Brown and stuff. You're going to need some other content that's unique to what you can share with the world. So what we do here with the Empower Network is that we go ahead and we have the 3 daily shortcut habits, which is 5 steps of what you're going to do, and that you're going to go ahead and we teach you a new lesson. We're up to lesson 157 right now. It comes out Monday through Friday. And then you're going to send this lesson to your subscribers, and then you're going to post on Facebook. What do you post on Facebook? What do you send to your subscribers? Well, here's the email swipe. This here is the copy. That's the top, that's the subject of your email is right here, okay? And then this here is the body of your email. Then in addition to that, you drop down, and this here is your Facebook, or you can go ahead and post this on your LinkedIn. Okay, so it's very simple to do. So I'll jump on over here, I'll do copy, and what I'll do is I'll jump here, and we'll jump on over to Facebook. What's in your mind, Vic? I'll tell you what's on my mind. And I'll go ahead and right click and paste. Wait for the image to pop up. The image pops up. Okay, once the image pops up, at this point, I'm going to actually take away the ugly looking link and even take away that last sentence. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, I do a little bit more conversion so that I do stand out a little bit more from some other folks. But just for purposes now, I'm just going to go ahead and post this. And we'll click this, and this here is now social media engagement. Now I'm going to take my followers, and when they come here and they look at this, they'll go ahead and click on it, and it actually brings them to a page which is going to start playing a video automatically. And in addition to that, it's going to offer them 2 lead magnets, or 3 lead magnets. One is to download a version of this lesson in PDF format, grab the audio format, and then to go ahead and start making money by creating value, learning, and empowering others just by putting in their email address here. So it's a way to convert my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, LinkedIn, from those friends and followers into my email subscriber list. And what's that email subscriber list? Well, we've got what's called an autoresponder. In order for you to send out emails, you have to do permission-based emails. Someone has to physically opt in to your landing page, knowing that they're now going to be a subscriber and they're going to get emails from you in order for you to be CAN-SPAM compliant. And at this point, they'll be in your autoresponder base. And you see here, we've got an autoresponder. And then you could start sending them some emails. And if you saw that email that was there, I can actually, I've already got it here pre-written for myself. Okay. We're up to 157. Bam. And I've already got it pre-written. And then I'm going to say who to send it to. And we're going to say check all. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And then if I want at this point, I can go ahead and modify this email before I send it out, or send it out as it is. And it's simple as that. And that's how you go ahead and create the engagement so that your subscribers then get to know, like, and trust you, because you're starting to send out some regular emails to them. So important to go ahead and get that done. So that is pretty much the basis behind what we do here. If you go ahead and look, we've also got some social media engagement that we could do from our back office here. You can go ahead and schedule an automated webinar, where if you do have a webinar that was created either by you or by your team, and you have a recording of it, you can send it out to your email list and say, hey, we've got this webinar, schedule the time that you'd like to attend as if it's the live webinar. You could put in set times, 2 in the afternoon or 8 at night, Monday and Thursday. Take your pick. They'll go ahead and click on it. It'll be added to their calendar, and then they'll go ahead and schedule to watch that webinar as if they're there live. And that has a higher conversion rate than just watching what they know to be a recording that they could watch at any time. Okay, and that's how you're going to create all of your engagement. So with that, I hope that helps. By the way, this also has a high converting offer built into it where you can go ahead and sell the benefits behind the Empower Network and go ahead and create yourself a steady stream of income and also high ticket and sales with this. Obviously, you want to go ahead and check out my income disclosure below. That'll give you all, because we go above and beyond to go ahead and describe our incomes, because we're proud of our income disclosures and what people actually earn within the Empower Network. So with that, I look forward to seeing you on the very next one.